In this episode, Pippin Penguin slides down an iceberg and finds a big surprise at the bottom. Let's jump right into it. It was a beautiful morning in the South Pole. The sun was shining and the penguins were sliding. Pippin Penguin waddled to the top of the biggest iceberg he could find. "Whee!" he shouted as he slid down the smooth, icy surface. "This is the worst day ever," he mumbled. Just then, Mama Penguin walked in. "What's wrong, Pippin?" she asked, sitting on the edge of his nest. "I tried to slide down an iceberg like Ricky," Pippin said, "but all I found was rocks and ice." A big wave knocked him over and the current was pulling him away from the safety of the ice shelf. In fact, he was floating on something soft and warm. He looked around and saw he was inside a giant, round, furry creature that kind of looked like a polar bear. The creature was hurt. Blood trickled out of a gash on its side. "We were just talking about how brave Pippin is," one of the penguins replied. "He saved the life of a walrus today." Ricky looked at Pippin with admiration. "Wow," he said, "that is so cool. Maybe now I'll finally let you tag along with me when we go sliding." Pippin couldn't believe his ears. Ricky wanted him to be his friend. "Really?" he squeaked. "Of course," Ricky said, grinning. "Let's go sliding right now." "Oh no," said Pippin. "You're hurt." The creature let out a tired sigh. "Whee!" they shouted as they slid down side by side. Below them, the wind snatched their joyful cries and carried them away on the breeze. The sun shone brightly, the snow sparkled, and Pippin Penguin had never been happier. "It's all right, little penguin," it rasped. "I've been hurt worse than this before." Pippin looked around for a way to help. Then he noticed the iceberg he had fallen off of. It had also floated toward the middle of the valley. "Hey, can you move over there?" he asked the creature. "Sure," the creature replied. "If you can get me closer to that iceberg, I might have a chance of surviving." Fearful, Pippin flapped his flippers and kicked his feet. But no matter what he did, the current was too strong. He closed his eyes tight and waited for the worst. All the other penguins were gathered there, staring out into the Growler Valley. "What's wrong?" Pippin asked. "We are looking for you," said one of the penguins. "We were getting worried. You took quite a long time to come back." "Yeah," another penguin added. "We thought maybe you got swept away by a wave or something." Pippin joined the others and stared into the distance. He had been so focused on finding food, he hadn't realized how dangerous it was. "I won't do it again," he promised. "And now my tummy hurts and I'm all alone." Mama Penguin nuzzled him. "That sounds like a terrible day," she said. When they were close enough, the creature thanked Pippin and began nudging itself against the iceberg. Slowly but surely, it inched closer and closer, and soon it had made it to shore. "Thanks for saving my life," the creature said to Pippin. "You're welcome," Pippin replied. "But you scared me half to death." "What are you anyway?" The creature laughed. "I'm a walrus," he said. "And you, little penguin, have just made yourself a new friend." Then the walrus slid off to find some clams to eat. "Why don't you take a nap and we'll see how you feel afterwards?" Pippin snuggled close to his mother. He was still a little penguin, so he needed a lot of rest. Soon he was fast asleep, but before he knew it, the slide was over and he landed with a thud on the hard-packed snow at the bottom. "Oof," he said, rubbing his tummy. He looked around for somewhere else to go, but all the other penguins had waddled away after him. So he went back up the iceberg and started sliding again. As he slid down, he saw some fish jumping in the water below. "Yummy, yummy," he said. But when he landed, he only found pebbles and ice. Disappointed, Pippin waddled home. All he wanted was a nice fish dinner, but all he got was a sore tummy and pebbles in his feathers. Mama Penguin ruffled his feathers. "Go ahead," she said, "but please be careful. It's not safe to swim in the Growler Valley." Pippin nodded. He knew the Growler Valley was dangerous, but he really wanted some fish. So he waddled past the safety of the ice shelf and toward the open water. When he got home, he flopped onto his bed of pebbles and closed his eyes. And creepy ice fish with sharp teeth and glowing red eyes swam everywhere. Pippin shivered. He wanted to go back, but he had come so far. So he kept walking until he reached the other side of the valley. Then he turned around and headed back home. Pippin woke up feeling much better. "Thanks, Mama," he said, yawning. "Now let's find me some fish." The Growler Valley was dark and scary. Jagged icebergs scraped against each other like metal moans. Waves crashed and roared like angry monsters. But suddenly, Pippin slipped and fell. "Help!" he cried. Then, splash! He hit the water. Pippin opened his eyes and realized he wasn't being pulled under. With a Herculean effort, Pippin pushed and shoved the creature toward the iceberg. Meanwhile, Pippin waddled back to the safety of the ice shelf. Just then, Ricky slid up next to them. "What's everyone looking at?" he asked. Together, the two penguins raced to the top of the tallest iceberg they could find. The end.